Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On About Bar podcast. Chris, your host here. Sabine, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
No, it's been a pleasure. How have you been?
Good.
Okay.
I mean, in the middle of the busy season of December. So, pretty hectic at work, but it's good. Busy is good. So.
Yeah. There's so much going on right now. I've been invited to so many events and Christmas dinners.
Right. It's like in November as well. Like we did so many events in the Penthouse Bar Hyatt in general. So it felt like a marathon, but it was super fun. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think there's lots to talk about today. Firstly, I want to say congratulations. You just got promoted, right?
Yes.
So you're now general manager?
General manager at the Penthouse Bar and Grill. Yes.
Well done. Congrats.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very super happy about it. Also a little bit intimidated, because it's a big job. It's a big responsibility, but no, I have an amazing team, and it's going to be fine. It's
Good.
Fun as
Well,
yeah.
let's jump into that. I know you said you've been here 5 years, very much like me.
Correct.
So I'm sure we've got similar stories of trial and error, especially with the COVID time. But maybe tell us about your role now, how you got started with Park Hyatt, and how that sort of developed over the last year.
So it's an interesting story. I joined Park Hyatt in December 2020, so right in the middle of the two wave of COVID. So I joined in December as a head bartender in Penthouse / beverage manager, because I mentioned that I wanted to develop myself not only in the bar but overall in beverage as well. And I started in December, so not the busiest December back in the time, but it was nice. And then 1st of January we couldn't sell any alcohol for over 1 year, right? So 1 year I was spending time making smoothie and juice in Park Hyatt. So,
Right, okay.
It was quite of difficult time for everyone, I guess. Also, for me, I was like, being a beverage manager, I was like, why would they keep me? But then, very grateful that they decided to keep me in the company, despite the fact that for 1 year I couldn't sell any alcohol. And then open up, all of the restrictions were lifted in 2021, and then we could sell all of the alcohol. And also, I think for every hotel and bars, like 2021 was the year where we needed to reopen every single outlet which has been closed during COVID. So it was a year where we need to rebuild all of the beverage program, all of the standard of the service, and everything was very, very nice, like very challenging in a good way, because you had to do a reopening process at the same time when all of the tourists were coming back. So running the operation while doing the reopening of different outlets was a very interesting challenge to do. And then 2022, then doing a lot of events as well as guest chef, guest wine dinner, and so on.
Okay.
And moving forward, I wanted to challenge myself not only in beverages but also in more operational aspect, running a restaurant, handling all of the reservation process, training, the hostess team, the service team, as well as still looking after the wine program and the bar program. So, and then, this position came, and and I'm very happy.
Okay, good. My coffee's just arrived, so I'm gonna.
Perfect.
I needed some caffeine injection.
Sure.
Thank you, because for the listeners, this is probably the earliest podcast I've ever done. Actually, so we're here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So 10:30 a.m.
Thank you.
Which is good actually. It's quite nice.
Fresh mind.
Absolutely. So that's great. I mean, I've been to your bar quite a few times.
Thank you.
I love the layout. The views are amazing, actually, for where you are. Like
It's beautiful. Yeah. We're on the 35th at the cocktail bar, and then 36, so pretty high.
Okay.
With a nice skyline of Bangkok. So, we're in the middle of the city. So it's very nice.
That's stunning, because you also have like multiple floors, right? So
correct. So Penthouse is a triplex. So we have the grill on the 34, and then moving up, you have the cocktail bar on the 35th, and then the newest bar that you saw, the Depth of Blue, the John Walker Blue bar, and then we have the mezzanine, which is like a middle level between the cocktail bar and the rooftop, and then the rooftop on the 36. So it's a big baby.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, I wish I should come more. Like, it's one of those places where every time I go, I'm like, why don't I come here more often?
Please do. It's for me, Penthouse, it's a little bit as a hidden gem. It's never been that, full on, how can I say? It's not a place that you can see everywhere, on all the social media and so on. But it has so many, beautiful aspects to it, and I believe that the cocktail we serve, are pretty decent as well as the food. And,
They are, yeah.
So
Well, it'd be good to talk about the cocktails. So walking into it, it's very luxurious, it's Park Hyatt, of course, but when you go through down the corridor, the bar itself has like this sort of almost like half shoe shape sort of, with a towel, all the spirits. But the cocktails are quite unique. Can you tell us about the menu itself and like some of the...
Before, I think I would like to talk to you about the concept of Penthouse.
Oh, sure.
If you understand the concept, then you will understand even more the cocktail that my team and I put together. So Penthouse is basically a place, like it has been thought as a house of this Thai gentleman who is like kind of the muse of the penthouse, right? The Thai gentleman, half British gentleman who travel the world, who love, riding his motorbike to travel, to enjoy fine wine, fine foods. And the storytelling is that he traveled the world and then he come back every time in Penthouse to host this very beautiful party and where all of his friends then are coming to hear about his adventure and story. So based on this storytelling from Penthouse, you have all of the decoration, right? So you have this BMW R26 at the entrance of the grill. Maybe you saw it already, this very vintage motorbike.
I don't think I have. How could I miss that?
Yeah, exactly. Next time I will show you. And all of the decoration of Penthouse is pretty masculine. You have all of the motorbike race, vintage frame. And so based on this storytelling, then we create a menu based on 9 different very famous people around the world who kind of mark their era. So you have, Gabrielle Chanel, who was like a fashion icon in Paris, right, in France. You have Enzo Ferrari, who was like a very big figure in Italy with all of the, the car. You have John Lennon for the music. And so all of those different people who mark their era with, either fashion aspect or musical aspect or, car racing. And all of the cocktails are inspired from them and also from the country they're from. And so I'm very proud of the team. They pull out a very nice cocktail selection based on this. Yeah, very unique as well, because I believe that whenever you make a signature cocktail, it has to be something that you cannot, enjoy at home or usually, in any place. So.
Can you give us an example of one of the cocktails?
So, for example, one of the cocktails that I personally really like because it's very refreshing is called the New Era. The New Era is inspired from Che Guevara, also a very strong symbol, right, in Cuba. And the inspiration of the cocktail is it's a Cuba Libre. So we are using this cocktail. We are using 2 different type of rum for this cocktail: light rum and dark rum. And we make our own pineapple cordial to bring a little bit of nice complexity and acidity. And one thing that I was very impressed when Justin, my bartender, made this drink is like he came up with this homemade Coca-Cola syrup. And I was like, Did you just put like Coca-Cola and sugar? And he was like, no, of course not. I come up with all of the spices.
Wow, so he's literally remade the recipe.
And it actually tastes really similar to a Coca-Cola, even better. Wow. And then we mix all together with some soda water on top, and you have this very interesting rum-based cocktail with a nice homemade Coca-Cola taste, which is very complex, and I really like it.
Fancy Cuba Libre. Okay.
Yeah, I love it, and it's very popular, very refreshing as well.
Yeah.
It's nice, and this one is very popular. The one with Gabrielle Chanel is very nice as well. Represent France, so my country. So we use beetroots, cognac as well. Some flower, jasmine blended syrup as well to represent all of the perfume aspect of Chanel. And this one is quite popular as well. Yeah. So a lot of creativity.
I love beetroot in a cocktail. Beetroot.
Yeah, beetroot is my signature ingredient. Yeah. I love beetroot so much because for me. Well, also linked to my story, it's like for me, it's a very French, ingredients. And it has this beautiful natural crimson red color to it. And you also have in terms of taste, beetroot has natural sweetness and also a little bit of earthiness. So for me, it gives a very interesting layer to any cocktail you can make. It goes very well with mezcal.
Totally,
It goes super well. Like you make like a twist on a Tommy's margarita with beetroot cordial and mezcal. It's just a killer.
I used to do a cocktail way back in the day when I was bartending. It was mezcal fat washed with rocket. So rocket, bit of pepper. Then it was also Cynar.
Okay, Asina,
You know,
nice.
and then beetroot juice and a bit of lime as well, and orgeat.
Right.
So, but such a good
To
cocktail.
try it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
beetroot is lovely.
Beetroot is nice. I really like it. Yeah.
So, which part of France are you from? Like,
I'm from Normandy.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Normandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just in front of England, so we're almost neighbor.
literally, yeah, just
Right.
because I've never been, but obviously big fan of Calvados.
Yeah,
So,
right. It's the
were you
hometown
involved in any Calvados, any sort of family, or?
No, I mean, growing up, Calvados is such a big part of our lifestyle in Normandy, right? So all of those, apple pie where we put, Calvados. So, in general, Calvados has a lot of parts in all of our food that we eat in Normandy, and a lot of cream and butter as well in Normandy. So not the best part to go if you want to diet. But
So what brought you to Thailand? What was the decision to move here?
oh, so I'm born and raised in Normandy. Then did my study in Paris, and then I went to Japan for 2 years to learn about bartending, Japanese bartending.
Okay.
And then I moved to Australia as a working holiday, so I couldn't stay more than 1 year, unfortunately. And then when my visa was about to expire, then go on LinkedIn to see where I could go, and an offer came to Thailand, and it was in a hotel by the river. And I took the opportunity because I was like, I never been to Thailand. I don't know anyone in Thailand. Never been in Southeast Asia, and I really believe that when you put yourself out of your comfort zone, it's when you get you improve yourself as a human, and discovering a new culture, a new country, a new way of thinking, a new food scene. Like it's really it's put you out of your comfort zone, and this is where all the magic happens, right?
What's been your experience of Thailand so far?
I really, really like it. No, it was a good experience. The first 2 years was, with COVID and so on. It was a little bit, difficult for everyone, I guess. But it's life, c'est la vie. And then my 3 years now in Park Hyatt, has been amazing. As I mentioned, my 3 years were never the same, right? Every year is a new challenge coming up. So, no time to get bored. So, no, really like Bangkok, honestly. Actually, I was thinking about that last time. It's the longest country I've been after my home country, France, because, Japan's been 2 years, Australia 1 year. Usually I do only 2 years per country is what I always kind of decided. But then, Thailand treated me so well. So decided to stay a bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same. Like, there was something about Thailand where it feels like home,
It does,
The way of life is very easy here. Like the cost of living as well is low, and
sure.
very exciting for hospitality, I think.
It is, yeah. But funny fact, at the beginning, I didn't like it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But now I love it. So
Right.
let me explain myself, because I was from Melbourne. I mean, before Bangkok, I was in Australia, Melbourne, which is a way smaller city. Like, in one afternoon, you can do the whole tour of the CBD in Melbourne, and you get to know all of the neighborhood in like 3 days, right? So, very chill, small. And then I arrive in Bangkok, where it's like a urban jungle, right? Like it's could be quite intense at the beginning, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know if that city is for me. It's like it's a lot going on. It's very loud, but then after I would say 3 months, then I start to discover a different aspect of Bangkok that I didn't know, and now I love it. It's really, like you said, like now it's feel like home. In summertime, I went back to France, and usually France, Normandy is my hometown, but more and more kind of feels like it's always my home, but it's more like my parents are always living there, so it's a bit more like my parents' home where I come. And then when I come back to Bangkok in the plane where I landed to Bangkok, I was like, oh, I feel like home, and I was like, oh, that's a very interesting feeling.
So when you're not working, what do you normally get up to in the city? Obviously there's so many restaurants and bars, and I always like to ask my guests where they hang out. But do you have any like favorite spots right now that you're sort of visiting?
I like to brunch, so I like to have like lunch and things like that on my day off.
Sure.
Like I'm the kind of person who on my day off, I like to wake up early to do a maximum of things, so I feel like I did something on my day off. So no, usually I love to go to Caget's.
Caget's very good, yeah.
Yeah, I like to go to Caget for lunch. They have a very nice lunch deal. So usually we go there with my girlfriend or some friends, usually to have some nice bottle of wine, rosé, day drinking. And otherwise, what do I like to do? I like to go to some bars, but to be honest with you, like I'm not the kind of person who go very often out in the bars because walking in the bar every single days on the week, I just kind of feel like, oh, I just want something else on my day off. But you know, I mean, nonetheless, you know, it's important to, you know, also to see my friend in the industry and to see what's going on. So I try to push myself a little bit more.
Top bars right now that you've sort of gone to? Anyone that's sort of...
So I've been to Funky Town a couple of
that's a new one, right? From the Sarni's group.
Yeah, from Sarni's, yeah. So, you know, Eric and the team, they've been an amazing job, and the cocktail is super interesting. You know, the way that they created the menu, it's super unique, and it was a very nice experience. Otherwise, I like to go to... Well, you know, Chinatown is one of my favorite spots to go, and this is a place I always recommend also all of my guests, because if they want to really experiment the essence of, you know, Bangkok, like the bar scene in Bangkok, I think that, you know, Chinatown has a very nice array of cocktail bar in a very small area.
Yeah,
so it's very nice. Yeah, you can do like a bar hopping and, you know, to cover like 5-6 bar. I love to go to Bar Hao because I think they have amazing food as well. And then, of course, you know, Asia Today, Tins of Thailand are, you know, I'm not gonna present it. It's a very famous place, but and one bar as well in Sukhumvit Soy 38 called Copper Bar. I don't know if you heard about it.
I love Copper Bar. Yeah,
I love Copper Bar. Fabio and Pifern is like, they're, you know, very good friend of mine, and also I must say I never eat such a amazing pasta in my entire life.
That for me, that's the definition of a neighborhood bar, you know, because it really is like you go in, it's like family sort of,
exactly.
And they have all their like Star Wars memorabilia. It's just so cool. Like,
no, it is, and they have the amazing hospitality, and I always admire Fabio. I'm like, how do you do those amazing pasta while making 5 Negronis and 1 Aperol Spritz? Like,
it's true. It's
just crazy.
Very good at that.
Yeah, he is. So
So I mean, lifestyle wise, like, how is the work-life balance? Is it okay in this?
It is. I mean, you know, working in hospitality like everyone else, like we're working in an industry where, you know, we have to put a lot of, you know, hours in our job, and, you know, but no, you know, I believe that I do have a nice life and work balance, you know. I mean, of course, when you need to work and push at work, you know, sometimes I will do long hours when it's needed, but no, otherwise, you know, I keep a nice life and work balance. 2 days off per week as well. So, you know, it gets my, you know, I use those time to, as I mentioned, you know, go to some restaurant, go to some bars, as well as, you know, some little bit of relaxing me time at home as well.
Yeah.
But no, it's good.
I find it's kind of like a weird like lifestyle in the city right now, particularly with all these new bars and restaurants opening. It's very hard to switch off between work and sort of like pleasure.
It's true, and I know what you mean, because even though you're off, you're invited to some event, which is like amazing, but then, you know, you kind of still working in a way, right? Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. So no, it's I know what you mean. Sometimes it's difficult to disconnect, but you know, but at the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I mean, I really love what I do. So talking about my, you know, my job, talking about Penthouse, and to meet and connect with people with who I could, you know, eventually collaborate is it's also a pleasure. So, you know, I don't feel it like a burden too much, to be honest.
Good.
Yeah.
So you just got promoted, general manager. Congrats again.
Thank you.
What's the next steps for Penthouse? Do you have anything planned, you know, next couple of years?
Oh, a lot of things to plan. Yeah. No,
you can share?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, 2024 will be, for me, you know, a year where I want to kind of put back Penthouse again on the map in the bar scene in Bangkok, because I think that, you know, Penthouse, I believe that Penthouse has a lot of potential, you know, the location, the artwork, the interior design, the team that we have, and it has a lot of potential, but I think it's, you know, I would like to really unlock all of those potential to, you know, to come up with nice activities, nice events, guest bartending shift, you know, also as a very nice entertainment program in terms of music as well, and to really do something unique and to put back the Penthouse back on the map. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, so the goal, you know, as I mentioned, we opened the Johnny Walker Depth of Blue, right, which is our new baby that we open on August. But then this bar will be, you know, a big focus as well to really, you know, do much more activation in this place to raise even more awareness, and as well as the cocktail bar. The cocktail bar will be my big focus next year. Yeah, moving on. So
Depth of Blue. So I went there actually. It's pretty cool. So for the audience and people listening, maybe describe what the room is, because essentially it's like it's an immersive experience, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, the Depth of Blue is we kind of renovate all of our whiskey room, which was before a whiskey room, which was closed during the entire COVID time. We used this place as a private dining area, but then we wanted to use it as an outlet by itself, by its own. And we decided to do a collaboration with Johnny Walker Blue. And so we are now the first Johnny Walker Blue lounge in the entire Southeast Asia. Wow. I think you saw it when you enter in this room. So it's a little bit of a speakeasy bar. It's a little bit kind of hidden. So you need to go to the 35th floor, turn to the left, and then you have this beautiful like blue, a bit of a mysterious entrance. And when you go in, you enter in this like blue ward, right? Everything is blue. The lighting, all of the cushion, the decoration. And the idea is like the moment you enter in the Depth of Blue, you are immersed in this Johnny Walker Blue world, right? All of the cocktail as well. The 4 signature cocktail inspired from the 4 sub-region of Scotland, inspired from, those region, and also using Johnny Walker Blue. So it's a pretty unique concept. Usually you don't really use Johnny Walker Blue for cocktail, right?
True.
You drink it neat or with soda. But we wanted to have this challenge to create very nice cocktail while respecting the flavor profile of Johnny Walker Blue, which was pretty interesting. And all of the food as well. With our chef de cuisine, we come up with a nice food selection which also match the flavor of the whiskey.
Okay.
And then, as you mentioned, we have this even more secretive room called the immersive room in the far end of the bar, the Depth of Blue, which is basically a 180 LCD screen. And when you sit there, you get to have this immersive experience of around 25 minutes with all of the sound, the noise, the smell, because we also have our own perfume from, inspired from Johnny Walker Blue.
Okay, that's pretty
so it's kind of stimulate all of your senses to really make you understand, deeply what is Johnny Walker Blue. So it's a very unique experience, almost like an attraction,
Yeah. And it only seats like a few people, right? Like 6 seats or something?
Yeah, exactly. So it's 6 sitting, 8 if we stretch a little bit, but, so it's a kind of, very intimate experience. And, I really like it because it's really like an attraction, and you really forget what is around you for 25 minutes. So
Do people have to book, or they can just go in?
They can just go in, okay, honestly. Cool. Yeah. We are very flexible. We're just closed on Monday, Tuesday, but any inquiry, more than happy to assist.
Very cool. And you've got the grill as well?
Yes, we do. We do have the grill. Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. So I'm guessing very much steak and good wine.
Yeah. No, I think you will love it because the grill has, so Chef Ben is our chef de cuisine in the grill from Australia, very talented, and he come up with all of those amazing cuts of meat from all around the world. You have, this Japanese Kagoshima, you have the New York strip, it's so many nice different type of meat up to what you would like to try on that night. And it's like a steakhouse style, with a nice generous side dish, some selection from the land, from the sea, starters, amazing selection of oysters, and and also a very nice selection of wine as well.
Good. I'm always looking for a new place for steak. So
please let me know.
Good.
Yeah.
And for Christmas, do you have anything planned? Are you going to be here in Bangkok, or?
I will be walking. I will be walking. Usually it's been 10 years that it's no Christmas and New Year's Eve, working in the industry.
Oh God. I know the feeling. Yeah.
But no, I will be working, in Penthouse. We have a nice set menu for Christmas, with a nice wine pairing that my head sommelier put together.
Okay.
And New Year's Eve as well, it's going to be quite nice, in the rooftop New Year's Eve party, and it's going to be quite busy, so it's good.
Yeah.
How about yourself? Any plan?
I'm staying here, so I've got nothing planned at all. I mean, I'm really bad. So I think it'll just be like lunch with a few friends.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
Table of food and
to cook, and that's great.
Yeah, but I haven't been back to the UK in about 5 years. So
oh, really?
Yeah, really long time.
Oh, right. I go back to France every year, like 2 times per year.
Really?
So, yeah,
oh, God.
Yeah.
I should go back at some point. I mean, it's been difficult. It was COVID first, so couldn't travel for that. Then there was obviously the chemo stuff I had to deal with. So, yeah, not great.
Yeah, well, maybe next year then.
Maybe, yeah. I do miss my family. It's been a while.
Yeah, so. I can imagine, Yeah. My parents are coming in Thailand in March.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, first time in Thailand for them. So
first time?
Very excited,
What have you got planned?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. So of course Bangkok, there's lots of, a lot to see in Bangkok, but then, going to maybe take them in some very local place. Like I've been actually recently to Kanchanaburi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you been there?
I haven't.
Yeah.
No, but
it's
quite
very
close, right?
nice. Yeah. Kanchanaburi, we were staying by the river.
Okay.
In this jungle rafts, without any internet or anything. And it was very, very nice, very local. And, you're in the middle of the jungle, and it's I think it's something that they never did back in Europe or even in Japan. So I think I'm going to take them there, and a lot of sightseeing in Bangkok. There's a lot of things to do, of course, some elephant sanctuary as well, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, elephant's always a good one. Where are you going to go for that? Because Chiang Mai has quite a few.
Chiang Mai has, and I think, in Pattaya, they have this elephant sanctuary as well.
Much closer,
Yeah. It's very nice as well. So, quite a lot of things, and perhaps to go in some island as well, so they get to see a little bit of different aspects of Bangkok. And a lot of sightseeing, temples, and all of the cultural aspects of Bangkok, yeah.
We're kind of spoiled for choice because it's literally like from the city, you've got 2 hours north, you're in the mountains. 2 hours south, you've got these beautiful islands.
Yeah.
I really should take advantage more often, but
but it's I mean, I don't know. I always think that it's like the Eiffel Tower in Paris, right? You know that it's here, so you will never go actually. And I feel like it's the same in Bangkok. We know that we can go anytime, so we always kind of postpone, right?
Do you get to go to the south much, or?
To the south, Bangkok. I mean, I've been to Samui for work, and I've been to Phuket for holiday as well. I love to go to Koh Samet, which is much more nearer. I used to go there a lot.
That's a small island, right? Which is just
in Rayong. Yeah, it's like 4 hours from Bangkok, so not too far, and it's very nice. Not as touristic as Phuket and Samui, so it's a bit more intimate.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So you mentioned about the bar. New things come in, guest shift program as well. So, is there any sort of focus on that about who you're going to bring in?
About who I'm going to bring in, not defined yet, but, there's a lot of people, a lot of my friends, from Australia, especially for Japan, from Japan, that I really want to bring, like my mentor who been teaching me everything when I was in Japan.
Who is your mentor?
My mentor is Otake Manabu. He is the world class champion 2011, and he is also the head bartender of the Royal Bar in the Palace Hotel Tokyo, which is like the hotel where everything started for me, because I joined this hotel as my 6 months internship. Back when I was a student in this hospitality school in Paris, and then I did all of my learning of bartending in Japan with him. So he also he played a big part in my career.
That must have been pretty exciting, like being in Japan. Like, I mean, Japanese bartender is very unique compared to the rest of the world. But
yeah, definitely. I always wanted to. From the moment I knew and I decided that I wanted to pursue my path in the bartending world, then I thought, okay, so where should I start? Should I go to New York? Should I stay in Paris? Should I go? I don't know. Where should I start? And then Japan was pretty much an evidence, because also due to the fact that I'm half Japanese, I wanted to kind of reconnect with my roots as well, because I used to go to Japan every summer holiday for 1 month with my mom, but it's different to go on holiday with your mom or, with your parents, and stay with your family and also live by yourself in like Tokyo, right? So I really wanted to do that. So my 6 months internship, I went to Japan in Tokyo in this hotel to learn about, it was an internship like normal. So I started in all day dining as a waitress to clear all of the dirty plate for breakfast. And then I was like,
somewhere, right?
Exactly, yeah. And then one day I went to this bar area because my colleague was like, oh, can you pick up a drink in the bar? And then I went there and I was like, oh, what is this place? It's so, it's the Royal Bar. It's a very intimate, it's a very small bar. It's only 20 sittings in the ground floor of the Palace Hotel. And it's like it's a cigar bar with like a, like dark red luscious fields, sofa and a lot of leather and dark wood. So it's a very, I really like that kind of atmosphere. And I was like, oh, I want to walk there. But then, in this bar, it's a very old bar, like 50 years old, only run by men who are like around 40 years old. And they never had any female bartender behind the bar. And me also being not fully Japanese. Like it was a lot of factor which
Yeah.
was against my, my wish to go there. But then I lied. I said that I've been bartending for quite a long time in Paris, which was totally a lie.
Right.
And then I will always remember that day when my mentor then come to me for the first time and he's like, oh, so you want to come in the bar? And I was like, yeah. And he asked me, so you've been bartending in Paris, you said, right? And I was like, yeah, I did. Very confident when it was absolutely a lie. And then he brought me this mixing glass and mix like the stirrer. Mm-hmm. She was like, can you stir? And this is something in the bartending world. Like, if you stir without any noise, that means that you are used to stir, like,
Yes.
and that you are professional. But then when I stir, it was like obvious that I never stir in my entire life. And I think he knew that, we both look at each other and we had this understanding of, yeah, okay, I lie. Okay, you lie. But then I think he liked it. And then they decided to give me a chance. And I started there as a junior bartender.
Okay.
Wiping all of the shaker, the bottle for like 8 months. And you know how it is, right? In Japan, it's everything is very rigorous. So you cannot just jump in the bar after 2 weeks and making a cocktail. That's not how it's happened. You need to do the floor first for 6 months. Then you need to be bar back and cut the ice for another 6 months, and then you get to make your first lemon lime bitter. And then finally after 1 year you can make a cocktail. But
that's a great experience, and it's funny he kind of caught you out but still gave you a chance, and he's your mentor.
I was very lucky, and he really took me under his wings, and he teach me all of the base, all of the fundamental of bartending. Back then, and I think it's very important because those, like base that you are learning follows you everywhere you go. Then when I went to Australia, working in this high volume cocktail bar, which was very different from a Japanese bartending, I still kept those fundamentals lesson that he taught me, like cleanliness or, simple things like that, but which is very important, right?
And you mentioned you're half Japanese, which, I mean, you wouldn't expect that at all. Because
I look like my dad. He's French. Yeah.
So your mum's side is Japanese.
My mother is Japanese and my father is French.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
And now they are both living in Normandy. Yeah.
Lovely. Do you go to Japan often then? I mean,
so before I used to go quite a lot, and then since 2018 I didn't get the chance to go back. But I really hope that 2024 I could go. Yeah, even like a few days. Yeah, to meet my friends, my family as well. It's been like now 6 years I didn't go back, so it's quite of a long time. Yeah.
Okay, Sabine, it's been amazing to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Love what you're doing at Park Hyatt, really, and the Penthouse as well. For those listening, please go and check it out. It's very much close to sort of the center of everything in Bangkok, right?
Right. It's in the middle of the Bangkok. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Sabine, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Chris, for having me. Thank you.